How can you best harness the energy of the upcoming full moon in Capricorn, July 21st, 2024? Hi, I'm Laura with Heartdriven Tarot, and today we're going to do a 5-card reading on how to best navigate through this full moon that's coming up. It's called the Buck Moon. I didn't know why it was called the Buck Moon, so I had to look it up. And the reason it's called the Buck Moon is because apparently by late spring, the male deer start growing their antlers. And then by this time in July, their antlers are fully grown. So apparently that's the reason why it's called the Buck Moon. The Capricorn sign is an earth sign, so of course it's a good time to get grounded. So we're going to look at 5 questions about how to best tap into this energy of the full moon in Capricorn. And the theme song that came to my mind, most of the time these songs just pop into my mind randomly, was an old song, dating myself of course again, Moon Shadow by Cat Stevens, which I think came out in the late 70s. And the reason I selected that song is, well, it's talking about moon shadow, so you imagine that, especially with a full moon. And also it's about making the best of any adversity. So just thought it'd be a good song to echo the theme of today's reading. Going to lower the camera. We will select 5 cards. Let's see. Well, select them first. First card, King of Wands, how to energize your goals. Second card, how to supercharge your finances, 6 of Swords reversed. Third card, how to revitalize your body, 7 of Wands reversed. Fourth card, most important task to finish. And the final card, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, which relates to the final message from the universe. All right, the first card for this full moon reading is how to best energize your goals. And we have the King of Wands. King of Wands is a court card. Of course, the kings are the most authoritative figure in the court cards, being the king, and the wands represent passion and that fire energy and purpose. So how to best energize your goals is to take on the persona, the qualities, the energy of what you visualize and imagine the King of Wands would be like. And if it's given that the King of Wands is the ultimate authority, he would be super vibrant, super confident, and would just take complete charge. So what you can do to best energize your goals in this full moon time period is to take on that persona. Imagine that you are the King of Wands in every single thing you do, especially in your particular key goals, and just take on that energy, take on that confidence. Act as if. That's what is coming to my mind. Let me see if there's anything else here. Well, when I look at this King of Wands as well, the way he is gazing out, it also suggests to have a clear vision, a strong vision of what you truly want to achieve. And that will bring the most energy to your goals. It'll allow you to power through in the best way possible. So he is that, take on the persona, imagine you're this authoritative figure at the top of your game, even if you haven't been feeling that way, assume that quality, take it on, act as if, and have a clear vision of how you're going to get through or what target you're after. That is how to best energize your goals with this full moon in Capricorn. Second card is how to supercharge your finances. and I selected the Six of Swords reversed. Now, when the Six of Swords is upright, of course, swords relate to thoughts, ideas, that mental activity. And when it's upright, when the Six of Swords appears upright in a reading, typically it's associated with a situation in which a person has been through a lot of turbulence, or we see here what appears to be a mother and a child, and they're escaping it, and they're going to calmer waters. But given that this card appears reversed, and the question is how to supercharge your finances, I believe it is suggesting, it's emphasizing, because it's reversed, it's an inner state, that before you're able to move out of this scenario, maybe that where your finances were not in the ideal state, is to release your concerns. That the first step has to be to release the anxiety in your mind, to trust in the divine, trust in yourself, turn within and access your highest wisdom about a scenario if you want to supercharge your finances. That's the first step. It's got to be an internal action first before you can realize and see in the outer that things are going to calm down and settle down, and that you're going to be able to supercharge and really amp up the health of your finances. So turn within, get clear, focus on releasing your worries and doubts. Worries and doubts don't really help you. What you need to do is turn within, calm down, and seek inspired action. Seek a solution that comes from your highest self. So that is what is a key step during this full moon, when you have greater clarity, illumination, is to release the past travails, trials, and tribulations that you may have felt around your finances. That's step one in supercharging them. Now, the third card is for ways to get guidance on ways to revitalize your body. And what we have here is the Seven of Wands reversed. Now, when upright, the Seven of Wands typically represents a situation where we see these clouds, gray clouds. It conveys the idea of storminess. And we see this individual who's on top of a cliff, and he is defending himself. He's on the defensive. He's on the higher ground. So it does appear that he has an advantage. He's got a vantage point. And we can't even see the individuals below him. We just get this idea that people are pushing up against him, fighting against him. Given that it's reversed and you're being asked how to best revitalize your body during this full moon, it suggests to me that you need to release the idea of having to defend yourself. Just have confidence in your position without feeling that push and that pulling and the pushing back on things. Because what that does, when you feel in a defensive mode, even if you're on the cliff, on that higher ground, you're still depleting energy because you're pushing back, and that is sapping energy from you. So to revitalize and recharge your body, think about situations, scenarios, take the action needed, but release this feeling of having to defend yourself. Just ground yourself in what you believe, what is important for you. Take action on that, stay centered in that, and just release any sense of like you're fighting against other people. Just be calm and clear in what your position is, and then let the rest go. People yell, may come at you, but if you are confident in what is best for you, then you don't need to have that fighting energy that depletes, and that can affect your health. Definitely. It can stress you out, and stress is reportedly the number one factor in creating disease, creating ills in the body, etc. So stay confident in your position, Wands, again, relate to passion and purpose. And just let the defensive mode pass. Now, the next card is, what is the most important task for you to finish during this full moon? We got the Star card, Major Arcana, reversed. Now, when upright, the Star card is typically associated with the energy of replenishment, of revitalization, of giving, of hope and inspiration. We've got the stars illuminating, and this woman who is, because she's nude, she's presenting that vulnerability and trust, and she's replenishing both the pond and the ground around her. Given that this is reversed, saying what's the most important task that you need to finish, then I would say that it's calling you, Spirit's guiding you or suggesting that you need to turn within and really think through what's most important to you, what is most, the project or activity that most animates your spirit, that is most vital to you overall, to your body, mind, and spirit. This is what's coming to me intuitively, that the most important task for you to finish is perhaps turning within and getting guidance on it, on what, sitting still, perhaps taking a few moments or an hour out and just reflecting, and it'll come to you on what is most important. What's the most important task for you to finish? That guidance is going to come from within as opposed to from without. Not consulting other people, not saying, oh, what do you think is most important? It's turning within to your highest guidance. And then finally, the overall final message from the universe during this full moon is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So we've got two major arcanas. Of course, this has extra weight because it's a major arcana card. Now, when it's upright, the Wheel of Fortune is or represents, in my perspective, the vacillations of life, the cycles of life, the fortunes, the idea that there's some things that you can't control. And that there are all these external forces that churn through life and carry you through the wheel, the cycles of life. And then we've got, always notice it's like the tarots, the letters of the tarot, the word tarot written there. And we've got this slithering snake and this creature. And what's always interesting too is all of these figures have books. They're reading books, which I always find fascinating. Now, given that this is reversed, and this is a final message from the universe, is suggesting to me that during this full moon season, for days of the full moon, is that it's time for you to recognize and focus on what you can and you cannot control. That, what is that saying from, I guess it's Alcoholics Anonymous, that people have told me that, or many motivational speakers have said, take what you want and leave the rest. And also just whatever I can control, I can't remember the verbiage at this moment, but it's, oh, God grant me the strength to focus on what I can do and to leave the rest, to release what I cannot control. And so I think that's what Spirit is suggesting through the Wheel of Fortune reversed, card number 10, which is the cycle. Again, 10 is the end of a cycle, is think deeply to make the most of your life and the season, etc., is to really recognize what you have control over and what you can't, and only focus on what you can control and just let go of the rest. Trust that, leave that to the universe to handle. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with Heart-Driven Tarot.